Okay, so, well, now we know why this phone has been one of the most hyped up phones we've seen in a while. It's good. It's really, really, really good. Not perfect, but really good. This is my full review of the all-new Google Pixel 6 Pro here. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, I'm sure you've gotten a barrage of, Google Pixel 6 and Google Pixel 6 Pro content so far. So why don't we go ahead and just fly through the high level stuff, right? Starting off with the price here. The Google Pixel 6 Pro here will run you $899, and the regular Pixel 6 is going to run you $599, and that's just for the base variant. And what we have here is the Pro model, obviously. Now, a quick note here, you will notice in my B-roll that I have a combo of both this color scheme, so the sort of sunny and also the cloudy white. That's simply because the original one that Google sent me was the cloudy white, and I went ahead and traded that in and got the sort of sunny because I really wanted this color scheme here. But anyway, let's go ahead and just jump into it in no particular order here. This phone is going to be trouble for not only all Android phones but also for iPhones, right? All iPhones. As of now, this is my favorite phone of the year. I can already say that, and I'm saying that even as an owner of the iPhone 13 Pro Max that I have here, which I still need to make a review on this. So much content, so little time, right? So favorite phone of the year so far, despite owning this, because this guy here is the favorite phone of the year for so many people. Now let's go ahead and just jump on camera right now, and you have to forgive me. I'm gonna try to keep it short in order to get through, all of the things that can be covered on this phone, because there are quite a few things to cover. And even with that, I will still need, or I must make a dedicated video on just the camera alone. That can take even 20 minutes just to go through all of the new options and features that have been added to this camera. As of now, this camera is simply the best camera I have ever used on a phone to take pictures, period. Like, ever. I mean, Pixel cameras have always been #1 for pictures, but here Google just took it to another level. And here's what's scary. The Pixel camera has been #1 for picture for as long as I can remember. I'm thinking all the way back to the Pixel 2. So with an old lens, it's been kicking butt. Now imagine this year where we have a completely new hardware for the camera. So pretty much a full upgrade from that old lens, which was already so good, and combine that with just that Google AI, that Google Post, and the result you get just amazing. Now what we have here is a pretty distinctive triple lens camera module that includes a 50 megapixel wide, a 48 megapixel telephoto with 4x optical zoom, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. On the front of the camera here, you have an 11 megapixel ultra wide camera, which also does a fantastic job. Every time you take a picture and you just look at that post processing go to work, looking at the final results, mind boggling. They just went next level here. I absolutely just love it. The thing has been great in all types of lighting. This camera's just been fantastic no matter the type of lighting that you have. And I'm talking just point and shoot without even thinking. Now, I'm not sure what other people are experiencing, but in my personal experience, even in low light settings, it's been amazing. Point and shoot. And I'm talking, don't even try to figure out the right angle. I mean, just point and just click the shutter button. It's done a fantastic job at grabbing, subjects and just cleaning out all of the noise, removing all of the flares that you would normally get from different lighting or, just lamp posts in the street. It offers a fantastic level of contrast. And for a picture that I took during the day, that camera just holds that dynamic range like no other camera out there, including shots that I took with that front-facing camera. So, the selfies, they are so color accurate, at least in my humble opinion. I find them to be super color accurate. And you may have heard of the real tone option or the real tone feature, and I find it to work so very well also, as I tested it on both myself and also my family. And more details on that real tone experience in my full camera review. And the one other option that I want to bring up here is something that's going to be very popular with most people, and that is, of course, the magic eraser. In case you're not aware, there's an option where when you take a picture, you can actually, remove distractions. Let's just call it that. So things or objects that you don't like in the picture, you snap a picture, and then you could definitely just go ahead and erase that stuff. It works so amazingly. You can do it in the with the software doing it automatically, where it just selects some of the stuff that, you know, it deems are things that you want to remove from the picture. You could go that route, or you can simply do it manually and just remove them one at a time. I really do see that option being very popular among everyone. Now we're almost halfway through my typical video length, and we're still talking about camera here, so let's go ahead and get ready to talk about something else. But just to close this part here, what I want to say is that what Google did with the camera on the Pixel 6 Pro here, or even the Google Pixel 6, is nothing short of just phenomenal. They did such a fantastic job with this camera. And by the way, I'm certainly hoping that you are enjoying the content so far, which if you are, I certainly appreciate that. Please do me a favor, hit both the like and the subscribe button there. Huge boost to this channel. I truly appreciate that. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on to the next thing here, and it's going to be the design, right? So this is a big phone. Even with my large hands here, it still looks fairly large, and it feels super premium. It definitely hangs with any of the top-notch premium flagship phones out there, if not better, right? It's just, you know, the build quality, it's just really, really up there, and the finish on these things make it look and feel smooth and premium. Very, very nice here. You get a USB Type-C port at the bottom there, 2 stereo speakers accompany that, and they are very loud also. You then have the power button and the volume rocker, both on the same side. And I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan, right? You know, granted, I have large hands and I could definitely reach, you know, the whole thing, but I would have preferred for them to kind of separate that and have one across the other, no matter which, you know, whether they decide to put the power button on that side and the volume rocker on this side. I would have preferred it that way. So it's kind of odd. Plus, not only that, the volume rocker is just a whole, like a large button. So you really have to reach up to press and turn the volume up, and you have to really click the bottom part to turn the volume down. Now it doesn't bother me again because I have large hands, but I would have much preferred if they had, you know, separated both of them. Now, and sticking to the buttons here, they are very, very clicky. Just amazing feedback. Very, very good stuff. But anyway, so as I mentioned, it's an overall, you know, big phone. It's a large phone. In fact, it is taller than my iPhone 13 Pro Max that you see here, especially when I put them side by side, as you can see here, right? Not sure if that thing is focusing. But anyway, so definitely a tall phone here, and it has kind of a tiny curve, you know, on the sides here. Nothing really to worry about if you are worried about, you know, accidental touches and anything like that. I have not experienced it, not once. So this is not your typical crazy curve that kind of wrap around the, you know, the sides or the edge of the phone. Is very subtle. The curve is very subtle, and you won't accidentally, you know, click on things that you didn't really intend on clicking. And then you get these very thin bezels on the sides here. It kind of gives off that Galaxy Note vibe, but, you know, overall beautiful screen. We're looking at an LTPO AMOLED display here that supports HDR10+, and the resolution on this guy here is going to be 3120 by 1440. So you have a whopping 512 for PPI density. That is awesome. And the Quad HD just makes everything look so beautiful. Ultra sharp, like so crazy sharp, as you would expect, right? Very, very sharp and very bright outside also. So as you would imagine, viewing angles, very, very good. It also does support high refresh rate at up to 120 Hertz. And as I mentioned, it is an LTPO display and will go as low as 10 Hertz on that refresh rate. As far as user experience goes, just the role that high refresh rate plays here, it's been so extremely smooth. And I'm talking like this as someone who actually owns multiple phones. You know, in my daily rotation of phones, I have multiple phones that, you know, do have high refresh rate. The 13 Pro Max that I have here and the Z Flip, the Galaxy Z Flip 3 that I have here also is also 120 Hertz refresh rate. But for some reason, this guy here just feels like it's the smoothest out of all of those. I even have tablets that have high refresh rates, and I still feel like this guy here is a lot more smooth. I'm not sure what that is. It just feels like some type of witchcraft. But anyway, like I said, it has enhanced my user experience in so many ways. In fact, since we are talking about user experience, let's go ahead and jump into performance here. The Pixel 6 Pro is boasting the new Google custom Tensor chip, right? And you couple that with 12 gigs of RAM and Android 12 sitting on top of that. That specification is just massive, right? You know, it's a flagship tablet, so it has to punch that hard. And also that Android version has some additional things specific to this device in a way that would allow that tensor chip to work and customize everything more for the user. So just top level AI stuff. You also have the new Titan M2 security chip in here. The base storage for this phone is going to be 128 gigs, and it also support 5G. So if you were to buy this and you're thinking about holding on to it for years to come, you'll be good because it does support 5G. And also Google, just in case you missed it, Google will be supporting at up to 5 years. Now this Pro model also has the millimeter wave 5G, but the regular Pixel 6 doesn't, except for the ones that you would get on the Verizon network, and I believe those would cost you an extra $100 more. Overall performance has been top-notch, just like you would expect, right? No hiccups. I've thrown anything from day to day to light to medium to heavy tasks and not a stutter. Although I have to point out that when the other one, this is my second Pixel 6 Pro, the first one that I got, the cloudy white, after I set it up, for some reason, when I started using it, it froze for like maybe 30 seconds or 40 seconds. I don't know if it was just a glitch. I don't know what happened. But after that, everything just worked normally. Not a hiccup, not a slowdown, not a stutter, nothing since that one, 30 seconds, 25, 30 seconds, however long that was. I thought that was pretty odd. I'm not sure what caused it, but I haven't seen it, so I don't anticipate that it's something that happens frequently. But anyway, anything that I've thrown at this phone, it's been able to handle it just like a champ, as you would expect, including heavy gaming, as a matter of fact. So overall, the combo of that AI-powered tensor chip with a slightly modified Android 12 makes everything pretty seamless. You also do have some additional features here, including the optical fingerprint sensor. We had gotten used to the physical fingerprint sensor that you had on the 5, the 4, whatever the case may be. I have them here somewhere, but we had gotten used to those. On this one, you get an optical fingerprint sensor. It's it's there. I'm not gonna say it's fantastic. It's an optical fingerprint sensor scanner. They all perform to my eyes about the same, right? So it's fairly quick, but still not as fast as what you would get from a physical fingerprint sensor, which I generally prefer. I generally just prefer physical fingerprint sensor because they are faster, they unlock your phone faster, and they're also more secure. I've talked about the size of the phone, given how large it is. It is boasting a 5003 milliamp as far as the battery goes. That is a pretty massive battery on here, and you can definitely expect a full day of use of your phone, depending on how you use your phone, right? But as of now, for me, I'm seeing a little bit over a day, so it's definitely a full day type of battery. At the end of the day, you're definitely going to have some battery left that you can use the next day if you prefer, but I find myself at the end of the day plugging that in. But I think it's still learning on my usage or my habits, right? I feel like it still can do more, especially given that size, right? I actually expect it to do more than what it's doing right now. I will include that in my next review of it. We'll see. It's also fast charge capable at up to 30 watt. I would have preferred for it to be more than that, but it's fast charge capable up to 30 watt. Wireless fast charge capable, and it's also reverse wireless capable, so you can actually share your battery life with another device. That's pretty neat. Now again, the battery is pretty good. I'm still expecting it to go up a little bit more, but we'll get to see. And also the one thing I want to add here is the fact that it's an LTPO display, with that, let's call it variable refresh rate. It truly helps with the battery life. Now let me just stop here and give you my take. Here's my take as far as this initial review goes. This is the most advanced Pixel ever built, and we can agree on that because it's just superior on all levels, including hardware, software, things that have been redesigned and or customized and just spec'd out to the max, making this the current most dangerous Android phone out there. Meaning, if you are in the market for a flagship phone, you are trying to buy a brand new flagship phone, no matter if you're looking at an Android or if you're looking at Apple, this guy should be on top of your list. I'm talking like top 2. If you're considering an iPhone right now, the next Android you should be considering is this. If you're considering a Galaxy S21 Ultra, then right next to it, you should be considering this. This phone is a go for me, and for a whole rack of reasons, including the fact that it's just priced right. You know, the price is just right. And I cannot emphasize this enough. It is just much cheaper than we all thought it would be in the tech community. And also based off of those specs, it is just really affordable based off of what it is offering. And just to recap, design, performance, camera, which by the way, I will be making multiple videos on. These are things that you really need to keep in mind. $899. The price is just right for this. Again, this is a go for me. This is just my initial review. I will be making more reviews on this thing as I continue to, test it out and share with you what I think of things that I discover on this phone here. But anyway, I'm certainly hoping that you found this informative. Let me know with your questions. Hit me in the comment section with your questions. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I'm going to catch you in the comment section like I always do. I'm also going to catch you in the next video, of course. And as always, up until then, stay safe out there.